Chicago's morning was a blur of honking horns, hurried footsteps, and the constant hum of city life. The air was thick with anticipation, as if every commuter and every car was racing against time itself. The city pulsed with energy, a living, breathing organism that never truly slept. The heavy scent of street food drifted through the air, spicy sausages, sweet pastries, and the unmistakable aroma of fresh coffee. Vendors called out their specials, their voices blending into the urban symphony, while hungry office workers lined up for a quick breakfast. Amidst this chaos, Daniel Grayson, billionaire and business magnate, stepped from his sleek black car. His suit was immaculate, every detail in place, but his eyes betrayed a mind preoccupied with worries far removed from boardrooms and balance sheets. His focus was on Lily, his daughter, waiting in her wheelchair by the curb. Despite 2 years of paralysis, her smile shone with a quiet resilience, lighting up her face and momentarily pushing away the shadows that lingered in Daniel's heart. Daniel moved to her side, gently lifting her with practiced care. He settled her into the chair, arranging her blanket just so, making sure she was comfortable and warm against the morning chill. It was a routine that had become second nature, a small act of love in a world that often felt overwhelming. As the city rushed by, Daniel's world narrowed to just the two of them. He blocked out the pitying glances from strangers, the relentless noise, and the indifferent faces. In that moment, nothing else mattered but Lily's happiness and comfort. For Daniel, all his wealth and influence meant nothing if he couldn't help his daughter walk again. The power he wielded in the corporate world felt useless in the face of her suffering, and that helplessness gnawed at him every day. Today they were on their way to yet another doctor's appointment, another round of hopeful words and uncertain promises. Each visit brought a mix of hope and dread, a longing for answers that always seemed just out of reach. Daniel hated the way strangers looked at Lily, seeing only tragedy and not the vibrant, determined spirit that defined her. He wished they could see her the way he did, brave, funny, and full of life despite everything she'd endured. The city's energy, usually a source of inspiration, now felt like a constant reminder of everything he couldn't fix. The noise pressed in on him, amplifying his fears and doubts. Still, Daniel pushed Lily forward, determined to face another day. With every step, he clung to hope, refusing to let disappointment define their journey. For both of them, the city's noise faded into the background, replaced by the quiet strength of their bond. As Daniel carefully locked Lily's wheelchair in place, making sure every latch was secure, the city's noise seemed to fade into the background for just a moment. He glanced at his daughter, her small hands folded in her lap, her eyes scanning the bustling street with a mixture of curiosity and longing. Suddenly a barefoot boy emerged from the shifting crowd, his presence almost ghost-like. He looked no older than Lily, but his eyes held a depth and wisdom that seemed out of place on such a young face. Wearing a torn, faded shirt and standing apart from the others, the boy watched Lily, not Daniel, with a quiet, unwavering intensity. It was as if he saw something in her that no one else could. A security guard, noticing the boy's ragged appearance, moved quickly to shoo him away, his voice sharp and dismissive. But the boy didn't flinch or back down, he simply stood his ground, his gaze never leaving Lily. Around them, the city's people barely noticed. To most, the boy was just another problem to ignore, another face in the sea of indifference. But the boy, in that moment, saw something entirely different, something that made him step forward. Then, with a calmness that seemed to hush the world around him, the boy spoke. His voice was soft but clear, cutting through the city's noise. "I can help her walk." The crowd's reaction was instant. Laughter and scoffs rippled through the people nearby, disbelief and mockery written on their faces. Some shook their heads, others whispered behind their hands. Daniel's patience snapped, his protective instincts flaring. He stepped forward, voice tight with anger. "That's enough! Go on your way, son! We don't need your help!" he said, trying to shield Lily from disappointment. But the boy didn't move. He stood perfectly still, his gaze steady and unwavering, focused entirely on Lily as if he was waiting for her to respond, not her father. The boy's impossible offer seemed to hang in the air, heavier than the city's noise, silencing even the usual chaos. For a heartbeat, the world seemed to pause, everyone waiting to see what would happen next. Lily looked up at her father, hope flickering in her eyes for the first time in a long while, as if she dared to believe that maybe, just maybe, the boy's words could be true. The security guard's hand landed on the boy's shoulder, but the boy's focus never wavered from Lily. Lily's voice broke the tension. "Wait, Daddy, please, what if he can?" Daniel saw hope in her eyes, a hope he hadn't seen in years. Logic screamed to protect her from disappointment, but her grip on his arm was insistent. The crowd watched, waiting for the spectacle to end. Daniel hesitated, then nodded. Let him try. The guard stepped back, curiosity replacing skepticism. Daniel knelt beside the boy. What do you want to do? The boy nodded at Lily's feet. I just need to hold her feet. Against all reason, Daniel chose to believe in the impossible. The city held its breath. The boy knelt, gently lifting the blanket from Lily's legs. He took her feet in his hands, his touch warm and sure. Closing his eyes, he began to chant, soft, ancient words that seemed to hush the city around them. The language was unfamiliar, but it carried a weight of hope. Lily felt warmth spreading up her legs, a sensation she thought she'd lost forever. She gasped, eyes wide with wonder. Daniel watched, frozen, as the boy's voice rose and fell in a steady rhythm. The world shrank to this moment, father, daughter, and a mysterious boy. Something impossible was happening. The warmth in Lily's legs became a tingling current, uncomfortable, wonderful, alive. Her toe twitched. Then again. Daddy, I felt that! I moved my toe! She cried, tears streaming down her face. Daniel saw it too, undeniable, miraculous. The boy stopped chanting, calmly rearranged the blanket and smiled at Lily. Daniel, overwhelmed, tried to give the boy money. The boy gently refused. I don't need that, helping is its own reward. Without another word, the boy slipped into the crowd and vanished. The onlookers stared, stunned. Daniel was left speechless, clutching Lily's hand. A miracle had unfolded on a Chicago sidewalk. Lily's recovery stunned doctors, her nerves regenerating, her strength returning. They called it a medical anomaly, but Daniel knew better. He searched for the boy everywhere. Posters, investigators, shelters, but found only silence. The boy had vanished, leaving no trace. Lily's progress was steady. Within months, she took her first steps. Their home filled with laughter again, but Daniel's gratitude was tinged with longing. He wanted to thank the boy, to give him everything. But some gifts, he realized, cannot be repaid. The city moved on, but Daniel and Lily never forgot. The miracle had changed them, forever. Years have passed. The city has changed, and so have the people within it. Time moves forward, carrying with it stories of hope, loss, and transformation. Lily walks the bustling streets, her heart set on a future in medicine. She studies late into the night, poring over books, determined to heal and to give back. Her dreams are fueled by gratitude and a desire to make a difference in the world. Daniel is a changed man. His fortune now funds a foundation for homeless children. He spends his days not in boardrooms, but among those he once overlooked, finding purpose in every smile and every life touched. He never found the boy, but he stopped searching. Instead, he learned to look for meaning in the present, in the faces of strangers and the quiet moments of reflection. The boy's lesson was clear. True power is humility, and miracles come quietly. It's in the gentle acts of kindness that ripple outward, changing lives in ways we may never fully see. Daniel learned to see the invisible, to value kindness over wealth. He realized that the smallest gestures, a smile, a meal, a listening ear, could be more valuable than gold. The greatest wealth, he realized, is what you give, not what you keep. Generosity, compassion, and love are treasures that multiply when shared. Miracles aren't always thunderous. Sometimes they arrive on bare feet, unnoticed by most, yet leaving a lasting imprint on the soul. Hope lives in the hands of the humble, in the overlooked corners of the world. It flourishes where compassion is quietly sown, and where people choose to care. Daniel often remembers the boy's words, helping is its own reward. Those words echo in his mind, guiding his choices and reminding him of what truly matters. The miracle wasn't just Lily's healing, it was the awakening of their hearts. It was the realization that love and kindness can transform not just one life, but many. And sometimes, if you're lucky, an angel will find you when you least expect it, reminding you that the greatest wealth is found in giving and in the quiet miracles of everyday life.